All right, great.
Okay.
So, welcome, Arizona. Thank you very much for seeking me out and giving me the determination to put together a show with you. Why don't you talk a little bit about how we met?
Okay. I was actually, I give a little bit of background on myself and kind of where I'm at. I was actually just released from prison about a month and a half ago. Decided that I really wanted to change my life, and I was looking for an opportunity to make some real income online at home on the side because I don't have a lot of money to start with. So I'm fumbling and bumbling through Facebook ads and all this kind of stuff, and I run across I run across Brett on YouTube uh, with his videos on how to rank people in maps doing local lead gen. So I watched a couple videos. Immediately I was hooked, and I just knew inside of me right then that this was my opportunity. If I can do this, everything's going to be okay. So into one of Brett's videos, yeah, he makes a proposal like, "Hey, if you want me to do this for you, here's my email. Just email me." So my whole plot was I'm gonna email Brett and I'm pretend that I need this. I need to buy something from him. I'm gonna buy.
That's the crook. That's the
Yeah.
crook coming out in you.
Yeah. So I'm gonna buy
Go
something
ahead.
from him. And
Right.
I reached out to Brett through email. We set up a phone call, and I basically got down on my hands and knees and offered to give him the $200 or $300 that I did have to my name if he could just please if he could teach me how to do this. I would I'd be so grateful. And Brett's a great dude. He agreed to teach me through this, and through our conversations so far, we decided that this would be a great opportunity to capture this training from A to Z, because at this point in time I'm totally unproven. I've never ranked anything. I'm total novice. Brett is a super pro. So if we can catch this process from beginning to end, step by step, this is just a great opportunity to so much value. So that's how I met Brett, and that's what brings us here to this Skype call today.
Well, let me tell you a little bit. That's great. Well, let me tell you a little bit about why I agreed to take the call. First of all, Arizona and I have completely different backgrounds, but as opposite as they are, they're exactly the same. I worked in a jail for 20 years. I worked on Rikers Island for 20 years, and I retired 4 years ago. And I have a spot for anybody that is looking. I don't care whether you did time or whether if you're looking to improve yourself, and if I have the time, if I could help you, I will. If I don't have the time, I'll make the time to help you. And there was just something about Arizona from the time he called me from the time we spoke. I just felt the passion. And I'm going to say something pretty bold right here, but I like to make predictions, right? I guarantee you in the next 5 years, it's a guarantee. And let me just say it today, August 30th, 2019. I'm saying by 2024 or probably before that, Arizona is going to be the most famous marketer in the United States, if not the world. Laugh,
Hey,
laugh. You're
that's
gonna
what.
you're gonna far you're gonna far suppress me. I'm just a little guy. I got 1,500 views, and I'm not trying to pump you up. And I'm not trying. I'm just telling you. I know when I see greatness. I knew when I saw Mike Tyson the first time. I knew that he was going to be great. I know that when I saw Tiger Woods for the first time, you just see people and you know that they have a special quality. And I really feel that you have that quality. So I'm just really happy to be able to take you into your first stage of marketing. And I don't know where it's going to go 5 years from now. It may go to real estate. It may go to, who knows where it's going to go. But if I had a small part on helping you just get started, man, that's why I didn't take you $200 or $300 the last time. I said, catch up with me in a couple of years,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Because I know that you're going to be. I know it. I know it. I know as much as the sun's going to come up tomorrow. Do I know that you're going to be the most famous marketer to ever grace YouTube? And I'm really just too happy to have you here for the first time asking these real basic questions, because I'm going to look back and say in a couple of years and say, man, I had that guy, man.
Yeah.
I had that guy. I had that guy. So don't forget about letting anybody down. Forget about your past. Don't worry about letting you down. Don't let me down, man. Go for it. Go for it. When there's going to be times where you're really tired and you can't take it anymore, and that's where you got to keep. That's the difference. The difference is other people are going to stop and go to sleep. I don't believe that in you. I believe you're going to pump out another hour or 2 or 3 hours in research and marketing. So I'm like I said, I'm only too happy to get you started. We're going to do this show. We're going to talk about SEO, and we're going to break it up every once in a while, and we'll talk about some jail stories, because I think 95% of the population watching this doesn't know anything about jail except what they see on HBO, and it's completely different than that. So once in a while, I guess we'll just break it up a little bit and say, hey, did this ever happen? What do you think about that, and stuff like that? Kind of keep it interesting, because SEO could kind of get, kind of monotonous, and sometimes you need a mental break. You need a mental break from code and Google and little tricks, Gotcha. All right. So to start this first show, why don't you talk about the first subjects that you want to talk about? And you know how to share screens on Skype?
I do not. I don't know how. That's what I'm saying. I don't know how to do anything. I'm baby steps.
I love
baby
it.
steps.
All right, I love it. So you see me, right?
I do.
And you see this little share screen here on the right-hand side?
I do.
Okay, so you have the same thing. So if you ever need to share screens with me, you could do that if you want to show me something.
Okay. So I think the first thing I'd like to talk about is like I've done my basic, like I said, I've watched all your content, and I've watched a lot of other content on maps ranking, and before we get anything detailed, I'd just like to do a quick little overview on some super basic stuff as far as like, okay, so what to get started in this endeavor, what are all the tools, like starting out, basically a laptop, internet connection, like I'm talking about, break it down, like what are all the tools, software, let's go through like the tools that I need and anybody like me would need really to take their first steps in this.
Okay. Well, naturally, I don't believe you need anything more than a basic laptop, the most basic laptop that you could get. You don't have to go crazy. Just get a basic laptop, and I think you're fine. You need a high-speed internet connection. You should probably download Microsoft Office, because you're going to need documents. And in regards to programs, you need to download Google Chrome, right? Google Chrome, that's a browser that you should use, because there's a lot of extensions that are going to help you in your help you doing your searches in Google Chrome. Okay, so in regards to programs, the first program that I would buy, if you're going to buy a program, would be a program called, and am I jumping too far?
No, you're not.
No. Okay, so I would start with a program called Bright Local. There's also another one called whitespark.ca. And what that basically does is it lets you see your competition, where they're ranking in the Google 3-pack.
Okay. So, and I know when we talked one time before, you mentioned these SEO tools, like they have these group buyer platforms, because some of these things I've researched them, and some of these things can be really expensive, hundreds of dollars a month for some of these keyword research tools and stuff like that. But if you look it out on Google, they have plenty of opportunities to where they have like these package deals for $20-$30 a month, and it's totally affordable, which I have not purchased my first one yet. I will be doing that this weekend. But I was just wanting to bring that out.
Right. So let's talk about that for a second.
Okay.
So in order to do SEO, you need SEO tools almost as if you're trying to diagnose a broken arm, right? You need an X-ray machine.
Absolutely.
And so the X-ray machine we use are SEO tools. What it does is essentially it turns Google inside out, so you could see it. You could see the factors that they're looking for. So there are tools called Majestic SEO and Moz and SEMrush and Ahrefs. They're all out there. There's a lot of them, but the problem is that each one of those tools are a couple of $100s. So they have these things online called group buys, meaning it's basically the ghetto way of using the tool.
Yeah.
You download a couple extensions, and you open up the private group by SEO tool, whatever that is. You copy the address that they give you. You make sure you have the extensions open, and then you could use the tool for $29 a month, and they'll package a bunch of tools. They'll package SEMrush, Moz, Majestic, Ahrefs, SimilarWeb, Spin Rewriter. They'll put those all on one platform, and you use all of them for $29 a month.
That's awesome. That's
right.
Yeah,
it took
absolutely.
me a couple of years to figure that out. It took me over 10 years to figure that out. I wish somebody told me that in the beginning, because I spent thousands and thousands of dollars. You can't do SEO without an SEO tool. So you're either going to pay for it full price, or you're going to use a group buy.
Okay. All right. And just to back up, just very briefly on the premise of making ranking. Let's kind of do a brief overview, if you don't mind, and so you can just hit home with, the methodology. Well, not the methodology, but how this business model works as far as rank and rent or client retainer payment up front. Just how does this business model work, and what types of businesses does this work for?
Let's start with the last part first.
Okay.
This businesses work best for. Well, you used a lot of terms that a lot of newbies aren't going to understand, which are rank and rent, right?
Okay.
So basically what Arizona's talking about is creating a website, just so you understand it a little bit better, a fake website. So for example, Arizona would create a website called Florida Towing Company, right?
Absolutely.
He would create this towing company. He would create a website. He would create a Google My Business, which we're going to show you in later episodes how to create. And he's going to get a phone number for that business, and he's going to try to rank that website in Google for towing company. The reason why I say towing company, or I say emergency plumber, or I say DUI lawyer, just as an example, these are emergency services. People don't have time to look for the best towing company. If you're stuck on the side of the road and it's raining, you pull out your cell phone, you type in towing service near me, and you want the closest one to come pick you up and get you out of the rain. So I'm just using towing as an example, right? You're in jail, you call somebody. You've been in jail before, right?
Yeah. 10 years almost.
All right, there you go. so you're in jail, and you make your one phone call, and they let you call somebody and say, listen, man, I need a DUI lawyer. So they find somebody, and they're not going to search through 3 pages of DUI lawyers and read everybody's bios. They're going to pick the person who has the most amount of stars, who appears to be, closest to you and can help you as a 24-hour service, let's just say, right?
Awesome.
So emergency services are the best services. So what Arizona's talking about is rank and rent. Rank and rent is basically you make up this fake company. I use fake in parentheses. You make up this fake company, you get it ranked, and then you call Joe's Towing Company and say, hey, look, I'm ranking here. Would you like me to take the leads coming from the phone number and coming from the emails, and would you like me to forward them to you each month? And that Joe's Towing Company could now have 2 websites, Joe's Towing Company, and he could also have Florida Towing Company. But Florida Towing Company is owned by this fella here, Arizona, and all the leads now get forwarded to Joe.
Okay, awesome. And so,
each month.
And from my understanding, there are 2 main ways to make money doing this, and then there's a third that I've heard about, and there's a little gray area though. So obviously, the first way, the traditional rank and rent would be, like you said, we go out and create Florida Towing Company. Just reiterating what you said, make sure I have it right. We create Florida Towing Company. I get it to rank first in the Google Map Pack. And then I reach out to some towing companies in the area and I say, hey, I'm ranking first. I'm getting all these calls for towing service leads. I'll forward these calls to you for $1,000 a month,
Correct.
flat fee, $1,000 a month. And I maintain ownership. I think one of the beautiful things about this business model to me is I maintain ownership over that GMB page, over that website. So if they decide that they don't want to do business with me anymore, I just go to one of their competitors in the
Forward it
same
to them.
area and forward it to them. It's
Yeah,
beautiful.
correct. Yeah.
Okay, and the other way is pay per lead. There in certain industries, um, per lead, you do call tracking. There's software where they can record the phone calls and track the lead. And
Correct.
every phone call that comes through that GMB page, they would pay
Right.
20, 30, 40, $50 per whatever per industry standard.
Correct.
Okay. All right. Now
Correct.
the third way that I've heard about, and this is a little gray, but I have a guy I know that he uses a guy that does map packs, and this
Right.
guy gives him his leads for free, totally
Right.
free. Called him up one day, so I'm gonna start giving you leads for free. But every time you close a sale off one of these leads, you give me 10% of the cash value of the sale. Now, you got to kind of go through it to find somebody that's honest enough that's actually going to give you your 10% because
Right.
it can be tricky tracking these leads from what I
Can
understand.
be. Sure.
Okay, so
I don't
that's
want
our
that to be. I would always. I don't do rank and rent, right? But it's the same process I use for my clients is getting them ranked in the 3-pack. But for me, and I may be losing money on this, I don't know, but I don't want to be business partners with somebody. Meaning that I don't really care how many. I don't care if you make $1 million a month. I just want 1,000,
I got you.
right? I
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
really care. Like,
I got you.
I'm not gonna say like on Wednesday the 16th, this person called you and you didn't give me like that turns into another job for me. Like
Absolutely agree. I
having to
agree
check
totally.
it,
I agree
having to
totally.
check it. So like if you got 5 of these and you get $5,000 a month, that's all I really care about. It's just just get me in the touchdown zone.
I
I
got
don't
you.
really care about all the yardage. I just want to score a touchdown. So
I
give me
got
5 people paying me $1,000 a month, or give me, 10 people paying me $2,000 a month. I got my 20,000 a month, and I'm good. I don't really care. I don't really care that you made $20 million. Good for you. I helped you grow your business.
awesome. Awesome. I love that. That's the same mindset I have, and I think that
Yeah.
like it's a lot of extra work. That sounds like a lot of extra. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you for explaining all that. That's awesome. Okay. So how about this? How about what are I know we said the emergency services. Are there any in my mind uh, targeting like attorneys or businesses that understand investing or understand um, SEO or marketing to some degree, because a lot of these service-based businesses, they are kind of mom and pop-ish, and they don't. Some people in smaller towns can't see I don't know, they can't see the value in certain things. Is there certain industries? In my mind, I think attorneys are smarter, generally speaking, smarter people. They're more ambitious. They went to school for a while. Is there a couple categories that you found through your experience that are a lot more open-minded to a service like this?
Yeah, I think a couple. I think doctors, like plastic surgeons,
Really?
for example. Yeah, yeah, like they're open to that idea.
Okay.
I do think that attorneys, I do think tow truck,
Okay.
but that now you get into, for example, now you get into like plumbers and electricians, and that it's hard to group those type of people because some people really get it and some people really don't.
Okay.
So I would take a look, and this is maybe jumping ahead, but for example, I would go to Google, type in 24-hour plumber. I would see the map pack. I would click more places and see somebody ranking 10th and see that they have like 25 reviews. So they're actively trying to get reviews. They know what it's all about. It's not like they don't have any reviews. Like you could
Uh,
see they're trying and try to
yeah.
go after that person
Oh, that's
and
really
say,
cool.
hey,
Okay.
look, yeah, if you type in 24-hour plumber in your area, you'll see I'm ranking first. This is my site. I can forward you the leads if you're interested in it. Do you want to try it out for a couple of days? Maybe give them a couple of day trial.
Okay.
That's
Yeah.
something to think about. Right?
Okay. Okay. Now,
Or
as far
forward them over a couple of the leads before you even, I've heard people do that too.
yeah.
Hey, listen, I'm going to send you a couple of leads. Just, I can't handle them right now. Can you handle these for me?
Awesome. Yeah.
Right?
If
You
you
could do
like.
that.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Let me ask you a question, Arizona.
Okay. All right.
If you're going to do lead gen, how many are you trying to get? How many clients are you trying to get to manage?
How many am I trying to get to manage?
Yeah.
I think that, like I said, if I like I'd played with the idea of doing the commission, but thinking about it in this very moment, that just sounds like so I could take that time and focus on sales, focus on like marketing my service and getting new clients as opposed to wondering
Right.
if somebody, shitted me out of a lead or not. That
Right.
just sounds like too much. So um, I want to take a bunch. I'm thirsty. I'm hungry for this, and I think that from what I understand about this service, if I put the time and the effort and the energy into ranking in the right places for the right categories, I think that there's so much opportunity just to stay at the top, to rank fast, get to the top, that won't require a whole lot of maintenance. I mean, it does
Right.
require time, and
Yeah, we'll talk
if
about that. Sure.
you know, and if I'm sitting at the top, I mean, if they're happy, I'm happy. I mean, I would like to own 100 different GMBs personally. I would personally. I mean, I know that me by myself and doing this by myself, that's not really plausible. That comes, but by myself at this moment, just doing this alone, right now, my goal is 10 at 10,000 a month.
Okay.
$1,000 each.
Okay.
10.
So 10 of them.
That's my yes, 10 of them right now by myself.
Okay. By when?
I wanted to have that mark done by Christmas.
Good.
I've got 5 months. I
Okay.
have 5 more months by
Got to get two a
Christmas.
month.
Yeah, by Christmas, I want 10 GMB pages ranking number one for separate categories or the same category in different cities. And I
Okay.
want to have clients plugged into each one of those GMBs. And then
Okay.
at that point, I can start looking about like expansion,
And
building a
now in
team.
2020, correct. Now in
Yes,
2020, you'll have a business.
yes,
Starting
absolutely.
2020, you'll have a business because you're getting $10,000 a month,
Absolutely.
right?
I'm a guy, if I do this properly, I'm a guy, I just did graduate high school. I started getting incarcerated, started catching felonies directly after high school. And here I am in and out, in and out, in and out for the last 15 years. And within 6 months, I'm at six figures a year. I'm making more than 90% of people that went and got a master's degree. And
Oh,
that's,
you're making more than the correction officers that kept you at.
I'm most definitely making more.
And that should be the goal, right? And that should be the
Yes.
goal, right?
Without a doubt. Yeah.
So, okay. So I want to try to help you do that. So we need to take that number and we need to write 10, we need to write it on a piece of paper, and whatever you look at every day, whether it's your bathroom mirror or the back of your phone or somewhere, you need to write that down because it's very easy to get blurred and kind of forget what your goal is, forget that you said that. It makes you feel good right now that I saw you light up when you said 10 and we can have a business by, January 1st. But it's easy, tomorrow for, my dog, her arm is messed up right now. And like now I'm thinking about that. I got to go to the vet after that. And I could kind of lose my goals because I have other things on my mind. But when I come back, I look at this piece of paper that I have my goals written on, and I don't forget, and I stay strong to that. So I want you to do the same thing.
Okay.
All
And
right.
that's
Just put it on a
okay.
little piece of paper so you don't forget, man. 10 clients by 10 clients by December 31st. It's definitely
10 by December
possible.
1st. Definitely just gonna
Definitely
just
possible.
definitely gonna
Okay. I
happen.
know you're going to do it. I know you're going
Okay.
to do it.
All right. Now, do you have any criteria that you recommend for the size of the city that I target?
Yeah,
The
that's a
okay.
great question. Another good question. So here's what I like to do is like I'll give a example that everybody will understand. So if I was looking to purchase a Google My Business, right? I was going to set up my first Google My Business. I certainly wouldn't do it for DUI lawyer in New York City, right? The population is, I lived there for 52 years, so I should know what the population in New York City is, but I'm going to say it's 5 million people, right? And I'm going to say that there's probably, 400, 500 DUI lawyers. I can't pop on the scene and rank in 90 days. So I'm not going to mess with that. So I'm going to try to find a city like Winter Park, Florida, or some places just outside of Orlando, or some places just right outside of Tampa, not the main city. And I would try to find some places that have populations of anywhere between 75, 150,000 people. And then when I typed in DUI lawyer into Google, when I clicked more places, I don't want to see 1, 2, 3, 4 on the bottom of that where there's lists and lists of people trying to rank in the Google 3-pack. I want to see about 4 of them, anywhere between 1 and 4 pages. Because if I could do that, the population is low and there's not a lot of competition, I'll bang that out in 2 weeks. I'll be on the first place in 2 weeks.
Can you do it in 2 weeks with 4 pages?
Yeah, you could do it. Yeah, I'll show you.
That's awesome. That's amazing.
Yeah,
That's motivation.
I didn't make it up.
That's
Other people could do it. But the thing is, you got to know where to look. You got to know where to look. So like people go, I have a client that I'm going to be signing today at 2:00. He's like, he has 300 GMBs. And he's like, how long? He has 300 GMBs. And he goes like this. He goes, how long can you take to rank? I had to give him that example. I was like, it depends on the city, the population, your competition. It's not just, I could rank you in 2 weeks. Some take 2 weeks and some take 6 months. Okay. Especially with a brand new GMB.
Okay. I got
right. Oh, let me just say something before we'll get to this later on. So I had somebody ask me a question. He goes to me. He says something to me like, I just set up a new GMB, and it got suspended. I got 40 reviews in the first day I launched it.
Oh, come on.
I know. I don't know. So like I bring that up only to say because I don't want to forget that when you do your GMBs, do not overdo it. Like just get 2 to 3 reviews a week.
Because this has to look like a natural process for the most part. In Google's algorithm's eyes, this can't look like, as some of these are like secret sauce, little tips and tricks you do to make it rank fast, obviously. But if you do too much, obviously Google will suspend it, right?
Of course, it doesn't look real.
Yeah.
So when you do finally get your GMBs and you attach a website to it and you start building citations to it, we'll talk about all that later on. But in regards to reviews, just start off with 1, 2, or 3 reviews a week for the first couple of weeks. Let it marinate a little bit.
Okay. All right. Okay. Can you give me a tip on, so when I'm looking in my mind, ideally, and if I'm looking for a category in a city and I find, let's say I find Jonestown, Florida is a fictitious place. I find Jonestown, Florida. They have 75,000 people. This is my area. I'm looking for tow trucks. I decide that tow truck industry, that's where I'm going to focus on. That's where I'll specialize and just try to copycat that across the nation. Just for argument's sake. When I go and start searching other GMB pages, doing my research on, is this a good category? Is this a good city? What's the competition like? How can I spot if there are other SEO players or other rank and rent guys in the game? Do you have any tips or any advice on like how to pick out like, hey, there are 2 or 3 other SEO guys here, and it's going to be hard for me to top that, so let's go look somewhere else?
Sure, 2 ways. The first way is exact matches. So, for example, if you see somebody that has a Jonestown Towing Company, if that's the name, that means that there's an SEO trying to rank that. It's probably a rank and rent.
Gotcha.
The other thing is that if it has a website attached to it and it has all generic pictures, just taken from iStock Photo, there's no, like, it doesn't look real. It doesn't have like their trucks with their little crew standing in front of it, their tow truck. then and that is fake. And the other way is if they don't have any social media attached to it.
Gotcha.
So as soon as you set everything up, get a Twitter account for that phone number, because you're going to get a phone number through Callfire or Twilio or something, whatever it's called. You're going to you need phone numbers for each GMB.
Mm-hmm.
You need to set up a Twitter account and just throw out some tweets.
Okay.
Right away. If you're looking for a tower in this area and so on and so forth, throw out a couple of accidents. There was an accident on 440 today. Be careful. Your account has to look real.
Gotcha. I gotcha.
So that's how you would know.
Okay, now is there a tool? I know that we briefly touched on, and I know we'll go into more detail later about like certain when we start analyzing competitors' websites and stuff like that. We'll get into that a little bit later, but for this first process of like searching out my first place to build a GMB at, is there a tool like I said, whitespark.ca? Is there a tool that I can basically analyze their GMB page and see how many citations and see how much, and that way I can say, hey man, this guy's really got it going on, or these people suck, I can rank in 2 weeks here. You know what I mean? Like, right. That's what we're looking for.
For sure. So there's a tool called Bright Local.
Bright Local. Awesome.
Yeah. Bright Local. So what Bright Local does is you put in the top 5 people in the Google 3-pack for, your keywords. And it shows the top 5 people, and it'll show you how many photos they have in their GMB.
Okay.
It'll show you how many links are pointing back to the site, how many citations they have, and what citations they have.
Oh, really?
So you could now copy their citations. You can now take their citations, build citations for yourself, because if Google's ranking them for their citations, they'll rank you.
Awesome.
Right? It'll show you the links, and it'll show you how many reviews they have. So It's all in one dashboard, one snapshot. You can see everybody in order. So, if they have 23 reviews, you need, 33. Let's just say.
Gotcha.
One try to,
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay.
That's $67 a month. And
for the Bright Local. For the Bright Local.
Now,
67?
I used Whitespark years ago, and I don't know if it's that in depth. But there are other ones also. Just type in GMB dashboards. There are other ones now besides Bright Local, but I've used Bright Local, and I think they're pretty good. What they're not real good at is they give you a ranking factor. So they'll tell you that you're ranking for this keyword first, but then when you do a search in that area, you're not ranking first, or you're not ranking third, or you're not ranking 30th. Like the ranking isn't, and that's what got me frustrated with Bright Local.
Okay.
Is that it tells you where you're ranking in the 3-pack, and it's not accurate.
Okay. Yeah, that would be.
That's the thing I don't like about it. Yeah. But there's a Chrome extension called GS. Did I give you that one already? GS Location Tool. It's a Chrome extension.
It allows you to basically almost make
change
like
your
a
browser.
Proxy, change your browser location so you can search.
Yeah,
it
changes
anywhere.
your browser location, and you could check. It's called GS Location Changer. GS Location Changer, and it's a free Chrome extension. And you just put in Brooklyn, New York, or Tampa, Florida, and it'll show you the results as if you were searching from there.
Okay, awesome.
So that's pretty good. Yeah.
And that's what matters. And that's what matters, because when you're looking, I'm living right outside of Savannah, Georgia right now. You're in Tampa, and if I'm looking at a city in Alabama. If I'm looking in a city in Alabama and I find a city that has potential for me to build a GMB site there, I need to search as if I'm in that city to see who's truly ranking first, because those are the residents that'll be using the service.
Correct, because Google checks proximity. Right,
Yes.
because Google uses proximity as a large ranking factor where you're located. Right. So there's some tricks that you could do to show that you have a setup there, and there's different things that you could do on your website, but you want to search from where your client's searching from. So that's a good tool to use, GS Location Changer.
Awesome. Okay.
Yeah.
And can we go over? I know that we talked about what businesses this is good for. Can you give me some
Yeah.
example and everybody else some example of like what this just is not going to be real good for? So don't waste your time in certain areas.
Right. So I'll just give a bad example.
Okay.
Don't do it for hairdressers or for nail salons or people that are just picking up, less than $100 per client,
Okay. So
because it's going
that's
to
a
take
big
them forever. Yeah, because it's going to take them forever to make their $1,000 from your service. So,
yeah.
for example, a plastic surgeon, they do breast enhancement. That's a $10,000 surgery. So they get two a month from you. That's $20,000. They'll pay you $1,000 for
Yeah. That's a
that,
20
right?
times return on their money. Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
DUI, right? DUI, same thing. A tow truck, which gets a lot of, that's a place where people check that, you don't have a tow truck company on your cell phone. That's something that you look for, right?
Absolutely.
So that's why, that service may be $100 or $200, but they're going to get a lot of calls. They're going to get volume. Your nail guy, your hair guy, those are people that you go to and you go through recommendations. And for a man, that's a $20 haircut. And for women, I guess it could be 100, 150, but you're not going to find a hairdresser on Google. So, don't do it for industries that don't have a big return, a big price tag. I gave two bad examples, so I'm sure you could think of
Okay.
you could think of 100.
Okay. Awesome.
Right?
Okay, if you wouldn't mind giving me, I know that we probably should have talked about this a little bit first. Just starting out, how much money? Can you give me an estimate between this much and this much? How much money it would take to get started with your very first starting a local SEO or local lead gen company, doing maps rankings? How much money would it take a person to realistically start out? Because I myself started out with, I had a laptop and I think 200, $300. I mean, that was it. So I just want to kind of throw that out there for everybody that
Yeah.
that's it, right?
Yeah,
Nothing,
you don't need a lot
nothing.
of money.
I,
You need a lot of determination, and you need a lot of perseverance. That's what you need.
yeah.
The
See,
money will come. You sign your first client, and I mean, I don't know if you want to talk about it, but you signed your first client before you even knew anything.
yeah, I signed the guy. I have no idea what I'm doing. I still don't know. I mean, I have a broad
You
idea,
know what you're
but
doing.
I know
Yeah,
what I'm doing. I know the theory behind
right.
everything, but I
Okay.
don't have the like I said, I'm unproven in my own mind because I've
Right.
never done it before, you know what I mean? So
Sure.
it's and like right now, and I'm glad that you said something about determination. The internet's down at my house, so I'm up
Right.
here to make this 11 o'clock meeting. I'm up here at Books a Million, feeding off of free Wi-Fi. You know what I mean?
That's it.
And
You make it happen.
it's just doing whatever you got to do to make this
Right.
work. You know what I mean?
That's
So
that's the bottom line. So you need a laptop, and you need a laptop. You need an agreement or a contract, right? So this way, when you sign somebody, you could have them sign it and set up payment terms, and then you
yeah.
go from there, right? Then you
Okay,
go from there.
and I know we haven't talked about this as far as like obviously we're capturing all this raw footage of you teaching me, and at the end of
Right.
it, I would like, as long as this turns into a successful thing and I'm just not some total failure, as
There's no
long as
such
that,
thing as that.
well,
There's
great.
no such thing as there's no such thing as a turtle failure. Now, remember what you're going to say, because I'm going to distract you here for a second.
Okay.
Um, this is going to help somebody else, right? I'm not doing this
Absolutely.
for you,
Yeah.
right? Somebody else is going to look at this, and somebody else is going to say, hey, man, you know what? If this guy could do it, a couple of months out of jail, and this guy could have
Yeah.
so much determination, then you're going to help that one person. That's really all it's about. That's
Yeah.
all it's about.
You're
So
right.
it's never a failure.
Absolutely.
So go ahead. What were we going to say?
What I was going to say is I would like for us to put together. I know that you share with me contract template that I can use, and like I
Right.
would like for us to put together, or I would like to help in the creation of some maybe some forms and some checklists, like some GMB checklists as far as like
Sure.
do this, do this, do this, do
Yeah,
this,
yeah,
rank.
yeah. I
You know what
have
I mean?
that.
You know what I mean? A
I have
couple of
that.
different things. You have some of these things?
I already have it. Yeah, I already have it written out. Sure.
Oh man, that's awesome. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, when we set up our CRM, so why don't you write that down? We're going to need a CRM also. And that's a
Okay.
place, that's a dashboard. That's a dashboard that we use to house all our clients. So we put all our accounts in there. We put notes about our clients. And then I have in there, you're able to create a little checklist of everything that needs to be done for every client. So I'd like to do a meeting
Awesome.
one day on how to set up your CRM.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. That would be
Right.
awesome.
So it has all your tasks that you need to complete to be in the 3-pack.
That's really cool. That's like as simple and clean cut as it gets once you know how
I
to
was going to
do
make
it.
a, I was actually, I still may, I'll do it with you, but I was going to do a video on that also because I think that's, a lot of times people use either an Excel spreadsheet or they write it down on notes or they use it in their head and it could get lost that way. And
Yeah,
especially when you're working with virtual assistants, my guys, I have guys in Russia and guys in Thailand and Bangladesh.
really.
And, oh yeah, that's how you're going to be working. That's how you're going to work. That's how you're going
Okay.
to work.
Okay.
Yeah, you steer the boat. Everybody else rows it, and everybody logs on to from all these countries. They all log on to my CRM, and they check off all the work that was done. At the end of the day, I look at it. So you're going to do the
Awesome.
same thing. Well, let me ask you a question. What were you planning to do when you hired staff? How were you going to plan to hire staff?
Well, and no, realistically, the what I when I say I hire staff is I agree. I didn't know that how extensive your virtual assistant network was. I already am a big believer in finding the right people to outsource the bulk of some of the more laborious or some of the more time consuming activities
Right.
that go into
Sure.
ranking. But
Yeah.
when I talked about hiring, I was talking about primarily like a sales force to go out to sell this service to bring in more clients. Because even though I'm a huge believer in internet marketing, obviously, and the power of
Right.
things like Facebook ads and building funnels
Sure.
and all these great things. They're amazing. But when it
Right.
comes to local, you have to understand that the business sector that this involves, they're local small businesses in the service
Right.
based industry. 90% of these guys are mom and pop companies.
Right.
So, you know what I mean? And some of that requires a traditional sales force, a
Right.
traditional going up there, shaking your hand, making that phone call,
Right.
doing the president. That's what it requires to
Yeah.
really onboard a lot of these guys. So in my mind, I want to emulate what you do with outsourcing a lot of the laborists, but I do want to expand the sales to try to bring that funnel of new clients in, and then we'll
Right.
just outsource a lot of the labor. So that's what.
It's one of the worst business plans I've ever heard in my life.
Gosh,
It's the worst business plan. It's the worst business plan I've ever heard in my life. You know
is
why?
it?
Because I did
Yeah,
it.
did
It doesn't
you?
work.
It doesn't.
Yeah. I did it for almost 20 years. I had my own store. One day we'll talk about it. I had an actual internet store where you walked in, it looked like a travel agency. Had a bunch of guys sitting at computers who all stole from me. I had a sales force that walk around to local businesses, knock on doors, hand out business cards, shake hands. I would go out on wearing a suit and walk down the streets and shake people's hands like I was running for mayor and hand out business cards to people. And all I got was dirty hands.
That's
All
it.
I got was a dirty, smelly hand from shaking smoky people's hands. I don't shake anybody's hand. I don't hand business cards. I don't own business cards. I don't own a suit. You want to see me? I wear a ripped T-shirt and a pair of ripped pants, and not because I'm being a
That's
rebel, but no. Listen, I'm not saying it because I'm a rebel, but I'm just saying like that's how I do business.
okay.
That's how I do business. So you want people to come to you. You don't
Sure.
want to
Yeah,
go.
that's the
Well, you
key.
don't want to
But
go.
I just don't
You
know that yet.
because I'm going to tell you this shit. The last thing you want to do is build. Listen, what type of people? Let's just say you built a sales force of 5 people, right? Because that's what I used to do, right? I used to constantly build a sales force of 3 to 5 people, and they would go around and knock on doors and make phone calls. What type of people are going to work for free and just on commission? What type of people are just going to do that? People have
Well,
nothing going on.
yeah.
right? If they were doing so good, they'd start their own business. Why would they be so motivated and such great people and they're going to come work for you just for commission? So that now becomes a job for you managing people. So now you get a guy, right? We'll call him Tim. And Tim is going to make a sale. And the sale is $2,000. And his commission on that is, let's just say it's 20%.
Mm-hmm. So $400.
$400, right? And you're going to pay him 50% and 50%. And now he pulls you outside. He goes, look, Arizona, look, my girl's having a baby. My dog is sick. I need $600. Can you get, like, I don't want to have that conversation with people. Can I have the day off? Are we working for Labor Day? Like, you know what I mean? All that is Arizona is headaches. Here's how you get clients. Rank your website in Google, right? And start making YouTube videos and get yourself out on social media. Have people come to you. Now, let's face it. If I'd have knocked on your door, so wherever you're at, that bookstore, say you own that bookstore, and I knocked on your door and you really didn't have much interest, you didn't really know what I was talking about, well, would you give me the time of day? Maybe no, right? Yeah. Probably not. Yeah, right? Yeah. Just imagine, like you're managing books, you just had a book delivery, and I walk in unannounced, and here I'm handing you my card, I'm talking to you about Google 3-packs, like, you know, you have other things. The other guy, your Tim, is now going to quit because he doesn't want to put away the books, or he needs more money, or he needs a day off, or something like that. Now I come in with my business card, hey, do you want to be in the Google 3-pack? You're going to be like, look, man, but you found interest in me because on your free time, you came to me. And you were only able to do business with me for 3 reasons. You liked and trusted me, and I did a good job. I have a great product, right? But without the like and the trust, you're not going to do business with me. So people get to know your personality on YouTube or on social media. For me, my platform is YouTube. That's where I'm able to express myself the best.
Yeah, absolutely.
For me, right? For other people, it's different things. So people get turned on to my videos. They watch my videos. I can't tell you how many people say, hey, I saw your video. I don't know how it came on next after somebody else's video. I don't know how I came across you, but I like your content. I don't know why you like my content. I guess it's the way that I present it, right? So some people like it. They're able to identify with me. Okay, great. But those people already like and trust me. Right? Yes. You're going to build a sales force. You're going to go knock on doors to people who don't know what the Google 3-pack is, and a bunch of losers that will work for free for your commission, and you expect them to be motivated? Don't you think that's a big waste of time?
I do, now that you definitely put it that way. Now here's what. Okay.
No. Let me say something else. Okay. So let me say something else. So you got that waste of time, and now you're going to do the pay per lead, where you're going to manage their clicks, and you're going to hope that they're going to give you 10%. Now you got to manage that. Yeah. How are you going to learn anything?
Yeah, that sounds awful. That does sound pretty awful.
An awful life.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So go ahead,
Okay. Well, just to get, I know that we're getting a little hit on everybody, but okay, one more thing about getting clients, because that is one of the things that, I spend a decent amount of time thinking about. Right. Is there a good platform, or have you come across any other good people in the field that actually generate good, solid leads for you? And what are those leads worth? Have you done anything like this? Have you? No.
I haven't. No? I haven't explored that. I'm not against it.
Okay.
But for me, for my thing, Arizona, is I'm not trying to take over the world.
I understand.
For me, right? I'm not. Okay. I'm 53. I just need to make a comfortable living. And my comfortable living is X, and it's only having X amount of clients. And to give you an honest thing, it's not really having more than 10 or 15 clients. I would not take more than 10 or 15 clients because I can't manage them.
I got you.
Right? So I'm not trying to make $1 million a month. That's not my business model. I'm not trying to manage 25 people. I keep a small team. I have, as long as I can buy a pair of Jordans like once or twice a month, go out to eat 4 nights a week, and do my little things. I have 2 houses. I'm good. I'm a simple guy.
I mean,
I'm not trying to get boats.
And you say it's simple, but that's amazing. You have your 2 houses. You buy 2 pair of $300 shoes a month. You go eat nice food. Like I said,
Yeah.
you have a place in New York. You have a place on the
Right.
beach.
Right.
You mean that's a beautiful life. That
I know.
is the
Right.
quintessential American dream. You know what I mean?
It is, but for some people, it's not enough. Like for me, long time ago, it wasn't enough. Like I wanted to be not a millionaire. I wanted to be a billionaire.
Yeah.
Like it consumed my
Yeah.
life.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying I'm a loser by saying that, but like I just don't. I want to do other things in my life besides count my money and be motivated 18 hours a day. Sometimes I like to lay in bed and watch TV. I like to play. I like to play guitar.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
I like to play my,
I got
yeah, I like to play my guitar. Like I like
Okay.
to do other things. I like to do other things. So like if I could get my, $20,000 to $30,000 a month. I'm good.
That's
I'm good.
beautiful, and I think, and that's, and
Good.
everybody else.
Good for
I
me.
think anybody that will watch this will probably hear what you say, and just be like, "No shit, $20,000 a month is good." You know what I mean? Like in my mind, I'm like, "Gotta be fucking straight at 20,000 a month right now."
Well, you know what? Like, so I come from like New York City, right? So like I have a lot of friends
Yeah,
making that type of money. So like, when making more than that. So like it's all around the group you're around. But you're right. I'm here in Tampa, Florida, and I'm like, I tell people that I went out to eat. Like I just go to this little local spot to eat, and people are like, you go there every night? I'm like, yeah. And they're like, wow, that's a lot of money. I'm like in New York, it wouldn't be that much money. So I guess just in New York, I think things are a little bit different. But
gotcha.
whatever. But you could do it. You could
Oh,
do it.
yeah. Well, Brett, I appreciate you taking your time. I actually work full time. This is, like I said, this is real as it gets, people.
Right.
I'm doing this on the side. I work on my
Yep.
lunch break. When I get
Right.
off, I'm trying to bang this out, and I just
Yep.
had to take my lunch break instead of eating food. I came to
Mhm.
do this, and I have to get back to work. And I appreciate your time, and we're going to
Let's
do
do
this
it
again
Monday.
on Monday. We're going to do this again on
Monday's
Monday.
Labor Day. Maybe we could do it a
Monday's
little longer, right? Do you have to work up Monday?
I don't, and my birthday
Yeah.
is Tuesday, so we'll do a good one
That's
on
what I'm
Monday,
talking about.
and we'll I'd like for us to, I guess, when we can do a phone call between now and then and kind of go over
Of
like
course.
what
Yeah.
topic we'll discuss or whatnot. But I appreciate you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much,
Thank you.
and I look forward to talking to you, man.
All right. My pleasure.
All
Thank you,
right,
Arizona.
all right,
Be cool,
bye.
brother.
You too.
All right, man.